Hey, what's up, guys? Back from the dead. Yeah, it's good to be back. So, I pretty much hurt my shoulder about 5 weeks ago, and I was just working out. It was a 7:30 in the morning workout with my friend, and we had just finished doing a few sets of pull-ups to warm up, and then we are going into shoulder press. So, I like to do, I like to increase my weight. So in increments, so I started 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then I went to 60 pounds. I've done that before, so I kicked it up, got it here, pressed it all the way up, and then as I got up, my shoulder locked, and it kind of like fell into itself. So yeah, not a very pretty time for me. It was very painful. I couldn't move my arm for the first week, more than like just kind of lifting it like 10, 15, 20 degrees. And I saw a doctor the day after, and she started moving it around. She's like, okay, how does this feel? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this fucking hurts. What are you doing? And I don't even think she was like a physiotherapist, because I just went to the clinic. Anyways, so I took 4 weeks off. I also gained like 4 or 5 pounds from that. It's probably from all the food I was eating and the lack of exercise, which is cool because I want to gain weight. But yeah, this whole video and this whole kind of series, which is the rebuild, is going to be about how to overcome an injury, a sports or fitness related injury, how to fix it, and then how to make sure it doesn't happen again, right? So the way that you make sure that the injury doesn't happen again is to, first off, just look at what happened, okay? So where was the injury? Your knee, your hip, your lower back, your shoulder. And for me, in this case, it was my shoulder. So you need to understand all the little muscles that go into the shoulder blade, what moves the shoulder, how the humerus can go across the body, how it can go up, how it can go back, things like that. So you need to understand what muscles do that. And so pretty much the first time that my shoulder kind of popped, it's not a complete dislocation. It didn't really dislocate. It kind of just fell out and came right back into place, but it was just very painful. So the first time that this happened, this is going to be around Sec 5, so my last year of high school. I was playing soccer indoor, and this was like gym class. So I went and I slide tackled somebody, and I fell on my side at that time. So, it was kind of weird. I got up and I couldn't move my arm, and I just randomly started sweating a lot. And I figured that, something happened. Maybe I tore a ligament. Anyways, it was just very painful. So I went to see a physiotherapist at that time, at an actual physio place, and he worked with me a few times, told me certain exercises to do. Excuse me. Anyway, so I did those exercises. I did everything that he kind of told me to do, and it started getting better. There was no pain. Gonna get some water one sec. Very good. So there was no pain, everything was working well, and then it kind of happened again the first semester of college. Alright, so we were doing the Turkish get-up, and this is kind of like you start lying down on the floor and your arm is perpendicular, and then you get up, and then you end up like this. So I did that with my right arm, it was fine. Then I did it with my left one, and it's with a kettlebell, so it's kind of an awkward angle. And I start moving, and then it did that wiggly thing again. It kind of like came out, and I told my teacher, I'm like, I can't do this. This is gonna kill me. And then it happened again in the gym, 5 weeks ago. So I started looking at pictures of myself when I was younger, 14, 15, 16, the little poses and stuff, bodybuilding poses, and I saw that something was wrong with my left shoulder. Pretty much my whole teenage, when I was younger, I started seeing, and I started noticing that it was a little weaker. It kind of was pulled forward a little bit, so everything here is so much tighter. My shoulder's being pulled forward, and there's not so much, rotation, like external rotation. So that's how you should look at it. You should look at your body, how it actually looks, and you should see if there's any tilts. If something's wrong with your hips, see if one hip is higher than the other, or if you have lower back pain, same thing with your hips. Neck pain, it could be the shoulders or how you stand. So that's how you have to look at it. And then you have to figure out exactly what you should do to strengthen what is weaker or to make sure that whatever broke or whatever happened won't happen again with, you know, certain exercises, or just training a little more intelligently. You know, this whole generation is all about lifting extremely heavy with extremely improper form, and you know, that mentality of never give up, you know, just keep going, one more rep, one more, and then you start, you know, you're doing this, and then you start moving like that, and then your whole you know, structure just gets so imperfect. You know, there's imbalances everywhere. So that's something you really don't want to do, because that's what causes injuries. You know, if you were taking anabolic steroids and you had really good form, and then you always pushed it, you know, just a few more reps more, I mean, you would grow muscle, but that's because, that's because of the substances you're taking. As naturals, you have to be very careful with how you train, otherwise you can hurt yourself, as I did. I wasn't trying to go, you know, just one more. I was doing something that I was doing a lot. You know, I usually always shoulder press with that weight. I usually always can do pull-ups, and I'm not quite sure exactly what aggravated it, but nonetheless my shoulder was hurting. So now I'm doing a lot of work with my scapula, so things that keep my scapula in place so that there's no scapula winging, so when your shoulder blades kind of stick out really weirdly. And I'm training my serratus and my lower trap. Okay, so things that really help support where the shoulder is. You know, from the spine, it kind of holds onto the shoulder blade, like this. Okay, or like that. It kind of holds onto it, and with the serratus, that also helps. It stays attached to the shoulder. So things like that. You know, you have to be very intelligent with how you do things. You have to look. You have to really research it, or you have to speak to a physiotherapist. I've seen a few, and that's how I know exactly kind of what I need to work on. So that's what this whole series is going to be about. The rebuild is something that I thought up of a few weeks ago. I want to show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm working around my injury. You can see here right now in this clip that I'm doing an exercise that actually focuses on your trap, on the lower trap specifically. I should be doing it a little slower, but I was getting very tired with this workout. It lasted around 2 hours, so it was quite long. I was talking a lot though, because I was with my friend. So to put this, you know, short, you should, for the first week, if there's a major injury that occurs, for the first week or so, I would just completely try not to disturb it, okay? Keep it where it is. Don't try to be stupid. You know, if you hurt your lower back doing deadlifts, then a week later you're doing the same amount of weight and you're just jumping into it, something could happen just like that. You can actually, you know, you can break something that needs to not be broken for you to just live or to stand up properly. So you have to be very intelligent. You know, weight training is a beautiful thing. It can help with your athletic performance in pretty much every sport, but you know, you're only human, guys, so be very intelligent. So that's pretty much the end of the video. I'm going to be posting more every week, and I'm going to be showing the stretches and things like that I'm going to be doing to help fix my injury. And all the sets, all the reps, not the weight though, is on the screen, and you guys can follow along. This is just an upper body day, and you know, I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you guys had fun watching it. So yeah, as usual, peace.
Saying is, let's say he didn't have a lot of sleep, let's say he's coming to the gym, but he doesn't have as much energy.